A lovingly preserved house can help us find our way home. Can we go back home again? An oft-quoted aphorism says we can't, but we all yearn to click our figurative ruby slippers. In March, I learned that the home my grandparents had built 97 years ago on Walnut Avenue in West Seattle was up for sale. At its open house, I languished for 2 hours. I imagined my young mom and her 3 older sisters running up and down the stairs and singing by an upright Ludwig piano in the first-floor sunroom. I pictured their pranks, one mischievously flushing a toilet while another talked with a boy on the phone. I envisioned my parents' wedding in front of the golden brown tiled living room fireplace, where in 2000 I posed them for a matching now photo on their 50th anniversary. Preschool-age recollections also surfaced as I sat on front porch benches that opened into ostensibly secret storage pods, and I lingered in the remodeled kitchen where, in its former breakfast nook, I learned to sip from a straw. In one sense, this house isn't distinctive, just a 2-story, 4-bedroom craftsman. Yet its context, a stone's throw from Seattle's first indoor-outdoor community center at Hiawatha Park, has for nearly a century conveyed unspoiled neighborhood warmth. Seemingly everything one could want: schools, stores, even a ravine, wading pool, and movie theater, was mere steps away. Mainly, however, I marvel at a dwelling that has been owned by only 3 families, each one stewarding it with loving care. The soon-to-be 4th family, Brandon and Alyssa Allgood, hail from California's Silicon Valley. Brandon, 47, is an artificial intelligence executive, and his wife, Alyssa, 53, is an architectural and interior designer. Because Brandon grew up in Marysville and on Capitol Hill and has family near Arlington and Darrington, the two have long eyed a move to Seattle. They got serious in February, gravitating to the Walnut House because of its street-side stature, open floor plan, plentiful light, proximity to Alki Beach, and what today is called walkability. "We didn't want run-of-the-mill," Brandon says. "We like aesthetics and uniqueness." The pair anticipates electrical and plumbing upgrades, but will retain the house's integrity. "We realize," Alyssa says, "we have a responsibility to keep it up." In Seattle's dizzying real estate spiral, preservation comes with a price. In this case, a purchase in excess of $1.4 million. As the cliché goes, for many, the so-called American dream remains just that, a dream. But I also know that my early time at the Walnut House eventually led me to claim West Seattle as my own Emerald City base. May similar homes survive everywhere to inspire us all. In our first then photo, the Walnut Avenue house stands in 1942. Built in 1925, it was the Slate home until 1956, the Rounds home until 1985, and the Bigelow home until this spring. Clay Eals' grandfather, Joseph Slate, maintained a vegetable garden in the grassy area at Left, across Lander Street from Hiawatha Park. In 1966, the plot was split off and a smaller house arose there the following year. In our second then photo, Joseph and Florence Slate, first owners of the Walnut House, stand on its snowy back steps in January 1943. They sold the house in 1956 for $15,750 to Robert and Lois Rounds, who sold it in 1985 for $110,000 to Bill and Deb Bigelow. Its assessed value in 1938 was just $1,500. In our third then photo, in about 1930, Clay Eals' mother, Virginia Slate, left, and her sister Betty stand in back of the Walnut House dressed as a man and woman act that performed the Cakewalk 4 blocks away at the Portola Theater, which in 1942 was enlarged to become today's Admiral Theater. Today, Bill and Deb Bigelow stand before the Walnut House they owned from 1985 through this spring. Retired, they are moving south to Portland to live closer to their son and daughter-in-law.